But really what I want to talk to us about, and it's so funny, as I was standing in the front and I watched different people coming past me, representing different parts of the world. And God ordained that we would all be here today at this time for a time such as this. Isn't that amazing? Because I mean, our backgrounds and our lives and our ages and our genders and our nationalities are so diverse, and yet we serve one true and living God. We don't need to take coconuts, we don't need to do anything. I mean, we've been asking the questions like, so when you do put stuff out, where does it go? So I don't know. But I really just want to speak to us today on the book of Hebrews, chapter 11. Who actually carries a Bible that's made out of paper? Did I miss the memo? Sorry. So every time I asked Ronis to carry my bag, it's got my Bible in there, and she eventually said, I can't do that, it's my bag. So it's a bit chunky. But I'm a little bit old school. So yeah, I am really old school. I'm 16, but with dyslexia, so 16 is actually 61, so I still believe in paper and pen. You know, I only just got to upgrade from a chisel and slate the other day, so I'm learning. I'm going to catch up with you guys with iPads and the other pads. I only use writing pads. Amen. And nothing in my notes, but anyhow. So then it says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, were assured of them, embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. You see, only in the last little while you got to know each other. And only over the last little while you started to know people on the island. But other than that, you were pilgrims and strangers. It carries on to say this, and I want to ask you, what makes you a citizen of the UK?
Do speak up, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, what's your name?
I was born there.
You were born there. That's amazing. A young man with the glasses. Thomas. Young man. I'm older than you, I think. What makes you a citizen of your country? A citizen. What makes you a citizen from the country that you were born in? Hong Kong. Right? A passport. One of these. Isn't it funny, eh? When you get to the airport, why are all custom people to say like Is this you? And what like should be a 2-minute thing like goes on, and then you start worrying and you think, yeah, nobody's touched my bag. What if somebody's put something in my bag? What if my passport's expired? And all of a sudden our identity changes from just being a tourist or somebody going to go and work somewhere. We start to panic because we think, hey, there's so many stories about drugs and all kinds of things happening. So a passport or an identity document tells people who you are. Now you see, many of you have the misconception of who you think I am. So who do you think I am? Penny. I see that there. Do tell me. I saw you. If you had an auction, you'd be in trouble. You would have a funny statue of it. What happens is when we start to see people and we start to meet people, we start to form in our mind who we think they are. Well, obviously you're from South Africa, and if you come from South Africa, then, or if you come from Thailand, oh, Thailand's associated with that, then. And so what happens is we start to have a prejudice against people and against nations, against things, because we think that we know who they are. You see, I can only get to know who you are when I start to spend time with you. We'll have a cup of tea and you'll bake little cookies. I know you can't bake, but you'll have faith that you can bake. And then we'll think, if I can spend time with you, we'll start to build up a relationship, and suddenly who I thought you were and who you are two different things. A citizen is defined as a legally recognized subject or national of a state or commonwealth, either native or naturalized. You see, some have become citizens of other countries by virtue of spending time there. And then they say, wow, you've really contributed to our economy, you've really brought value into it. And I think of my young friend Matthew over there, and he has invested into this country, not just in business, not just in money. But when I see young Noah, I see the fruit of that investment. Where he has invested everything into this country. But the word that I'm really thinking about and been thinking about quite a bit about is a sojourner. A sojourner is a pilgrim or a traveler. How many of us, and I'm speaking about us, how many of us live here permanently? Permanently. You're a citizen.
No, I'm not a citizen.
You live here permanently, or you're a citizen?
No.
Citizen. We're all citizens. So in actual fact, we are all sojourners. We're passing through. Some will be here longer than others. But here's the thing. Although we are passing through, we're simply travelers. Maybe we're on holiday, maybe we're on contractual work, maybe we're here because of love, maybe we're here because of recreation, holiday, whatever the reason is that we're here. We're going from one place to another and then we'll return. And the only thing that will keep that memories alive, when we look at the little video and we start giggling, oh, can you remember when that happened? And we look at those silly photographs. I do silly photographs all the time. You'll always see me like, and I love putting things on my head. For those of you who came in earlier, I mean, pass me the Alice, man. That next to you, the feathers. Like my wife says to me, what's the matter with me? I said, there's nothing wrong with me. Now, for those of you that haven't noticed, I don't have eyebrows. So earlier on, what I did, I got like, hey, it's pretty odd. Oh, you're happy. You see, God wants us to have an identity that is not made up of what people think, but is of how we know Him and how we have a relationship with Him. And here's the question, have we positioned ourselves not only in life, not only in this country, but have we positioned ourselves to be sojourning through here? You see, many of us love homes and fancy cars, and it's weird, the more we get, the more you want. So to give you an idea, when I first started working, and I'll speak in bargains and it's simple, I earned 75 for a whole month's work. I was ecstatic. I bought a pair of Levi jeans, I bought a shirt, I bought a pair of leather boots, a leather belt, and I could pay my rent. And I thought, if I could earn 100, my life would be complete. I don't know what I was thinking. And that's a little bit with us. We'll go to one more country. Okay, I need to do one more country. I need to do one more thing. And then my life will be complete. And when we get there, and I don't know if it's like, if this is stuck with you, but this is me. Sometimes I'm so excited about buying myself something, I can't wait. I keep saving it. And then I buy it and it's like, I've got it. What's the next thing? So we are constantly searching for the next big thing. The next thing that's going to bring us comfort, the next thing that's going to bring us hope, the next thing that's going to bring us happiness, the next thing that's going to bring us joy. And so we sojourn, we move, we keep on moving. But here's the reality. We are also sojourners according to the Word of God. Because we think that Thailand's the final destination. We may think that Russia's the final destination. We may think that China or Taiwan, it doesn't matter where, we think that's the final destination. But in actual fact, we're just moving through. And sometimes we sojourn like we belong here, but we don't belong here. Often people will ask me, so where are you from? Not from here. Oh, no, really. So where are you from? I'm from the kingdom of heaven. And you can see they start getting all awkward. But you can go with me too if you like. You don't need to ask. You just need to say yes. We need to realize that this world is not our home. But we live as though it is. You look in our wardrobe now, my wife is a shoe person, and I know the other ladies don't like shoes, so I'm only going to talk about her. And then I made the mistake one day to ask her why she had so many pairs of shoes. I said, you only have 2 feet. There's 7 days in a week, so even if you had 7 pairs of shoes, you can wear a different pair of shoes every day, and you'll be like, oh, this is my Monday pair, this is my... She says, you don't understand. Shoes are very, very important. Now, for those of you that haven't noticed, I don't really particularly like wearing shoes. And so, you see, it may not be shoes. My brother-in-law collects watches, and somebody else collects something, but we're always collecting something. But I'll tell you what collection that I'm really proud of. And not because I'm really good at it, or that I have much finances to buy it. But it's about the harvest. See, when we get to heaven one day, God's not going to look at how many shoes we have. He's not going to be impressed by our houses or our cars or anything. He's going to ask me, so Russell, what have you done with the seed that I gave you? Well, Lord, you know how life is. It's hard and time, I don't have time. You know, go to work, and then I'm going to rush home and cook, and then I have to do this, and the children, and schooling, and we go on and on and on. But He's not going to be that impressed by all those things. He's simply going to say to me, who have you brought with you? You see, when I'm barefoot with shoes, He's concerned, have you told my children about me? Have they realized that their life is not based in the world, but I've prepared a place for them? You know, what always surprises me, and we have a comedian in South Africa called Trevor Noah. Some of you may know him, and some of you may not. But I want to take one of his skits, and it's so funny. He gives an example when the British... by the way, I'm from Scottish descent, so I can speak about the British, right? And I'm not feeling bad. Yeah. I was in Edinburgh a couple of years ago, and it was in the middle of summer at 13 degrees, and the guys had short sleeve and short, and he was saying, oh, beautiful day! I said, no, it's winter. So, going back. And so then Trevor says, the British would go, come to a country that was India, and he says, I declare in the name of Queen Victoria that this is Britain. And he put a flag there. And suddenly the whole country became Britain Empire. It's like if you go down to the South Pole, you see all these little flags on icebergs, little flags all over. This belongs to Mother Russia. Nostro. Alex, you see that's the only word. Oh no, there are no 2 Russians. Da. Oh, yeah. Da. Nostrovia.
belongs to Mother Russia. I take it in the name of.
And we go and we place our flags all over and we assume that we've taken possession of. Yet the Bible says this: every place that the sole of your foot shall tread, I have given it to you as a possession. Go and possess the land. You see, so Thailand belongs to the kingdom of God. The ferry coming over belongs to the kingdom of God. The planes that we flew in, even that scooter bike. So every time I drove up and down here, claim it in Jesus' name. You see, when we start to have a kingdom mentality, we realize that we are not citizens of this earth, but as citizens of heaven, we can claim back the land. You know, when I told people I'm coming to Thailand, they said to me, did you know that 95% of Thailand is Buddhist and 4.6% is Muslim and only 4%? I said, well, we're still the majority. You see, we've got to start living with a kingdom mindset that says, I don't care how big the giant is, because it's just a giant. I don't care how deep the valley is, because it's only a valley. I don't care how high the mountain is or how rough the ocean is, it's only because of who we serve and to whom we belong. This is getting really difficult because I don't have those notes. So, Jesus says this in John 14, 1 to 3. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. Come back. So, Penny, you're looking for a new spot there. I've been driving and oh, this is so cool. It's got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. My dogs can go there. And then it's got a upstairs and a downstairs. I'm so excited. And then we go over there. Oh, did you check the hotel? I'm saying, oh, you can't believe it. Listen what Jesus says. There are many mansions. How many of you would love to stay in a mansion? Come on. Come on. Don't lie. I'm that guy. I'm a mansion. I'm a veranda. Looking out over my domain. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself. And that where I am, there you may also be also. And where I go, you know, and the way you know. How cool is that? Jesus has gone ahead of us, and it's like outside, if you look at these building blocks, look at those little bricks over there, and paving. The mansion that we go to is so cool. They use gold as paving stones. Like gold. How many of you like gold jewelry? Come on. I know the ladies don't like. I like jewelry. Not really. I don't like jewelry. But we do. We like things that sparkle. Gold watch, gold dress, gold rings. And that's only building materials in heaven. The walls are made out and the gates are made out of massive jewels. And yet we chase these things because we think they're important, but they're really only building materials. So in Thailand, I found out that as a non-citizen, as a sojourner, as a traveler, as a holiday maker, I'm known as a Parang. Parang. And then it said, no, it's actually not Parang, it's a Palang. Palang. Help me, Matthew.
Palang.
Palang. I said, what is a Palang? No, you are a foreigner. I said, of course I'm a foreigner. This whole planet to me, I'm a foreigner because I don't belong here. You see, some of us may be offended that we are called foreigners or Palang. Not me. I'm a foreigner anyway. This is just, I'm just passing through. And we need to start to have that mentality that we are simply just passing through. So now, how do we position ourselves to be part of growing this kingdom? Yeah, but Russell, you don't understand. I don't know the Bible that well. So, once I learn all the scriptures, then I'll be ready to preach. Or, how's it, man? Why don't you open in page? What's wrong? I don't pray in public. I go to my closet. I go to my room. In the quietness and the presence of God, I worship. Really? So God's only in the cupboard, in the closet. You see, when somebody says to me, stand up and pray, I'm like, yes, I want to. When somebody's sick, I'll pray for the sick. When somebody says, I can't have a baby, I'll pray for you. You know why? Because I realize that as a sojourner, or we're totally backslidden. So I'll give you a little bit of background about me. I was a drug addict for 17 years, up until 28 years ago. And this is the difference. When I sinned, I didn't play around. I sinned properly. Yeah. You wouldn't say, oh, go to church, do drugs. Go to church, do... No, I was a druggie. I was a happy druggie. I was a happy drunkard. Yes. People say, oh, you know, it must be the way you were brought up. And, you know, so shiny. And your heart was broken. No. I liked sinning. It was fun. But when I got saved, I couldn't go, all right, so we're going to do it. No. I made a decision to follow Jesus. There's a song that came out from an evangelist that was up in northern England. And his family was being executed. And the authorities said to him, if you deny and denounce Jesus, I will spare their lives. And he couldn't. And they murdered them. And then they said, I'm going to give you one last chance. If you denounce Christ and Christianity, I will spare your life. And he started to sing this song. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow him. The cross before me, the world is behind me. Are we willing to die for our faith? Now I must tell you, I am not Martin material. This whole dying thing is not good. That's why I wear a helmet on the motorbike. I take all the precautions. And that's what he said. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back. Are we and have we decided to follow Jesus? Jesus doesn't want us to live a life of being lukewarm. Jesus doesn't want us to live a life that when people see us, they say, that's what Christianity is all about. I want nothing to do with it. He wants us to live a life of salt and light. He wants us to live a life that when people say, I want what you have. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8, and it says this, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? You know, it's not go for me, it's go for us. Then I said, here am I, send me. You see, when I spoke to Penny and Bill in the back of the church a couple of weeks ago, and they were telling me, oh no, we live there, we work there. I said, oh, can I come? They said, will you come? I said, yeah. Monday they found out we were on the way. In fact, it was so sudden they had the dates wrong. And I'm like, we were here. No money, no resources, no time, but we came. In fact, I spent my rent money to get here. Why? Because that's what God wants from us. He wants us to say yes first, and then He'll take care of the details. Do you understand what I'm saying? We always say, Lord, let me get myself right first, and then I'll come to you. Even the way we evangelize and the way we speak to people, we want them to get their lives in order first before we show them the love of God. We need to show them the love of God so that their lives will change. We need to be compelled by the love of God. We need to be filled with compassion, and we need to look out for the resources. Just before we arrived, I showed many of them a little video. I just started crying. Not because I'm sad. When I first spoke to Joe, I said to him, he was like, okay, so who are you? I'm just Russell. What have you done? I said, I preached in a couple of other countries. He says, yeah. So I said, yeah, so last year I preached in Pakistan. About 10,635 people got saved. He goes, oh, no, we don't have thousands. You know what I asked him? And this is true. What did I ask you? I said, do you have one person? You see, I'll come for one of you. Because Jesus would have come for one of us. He went to Zacchaeus in the tree, one guy. He went to the woman at the well, one woman. He went to the woman with the issue of blood, one woman. He spoke to one centurion. You see, before we get entrusted by the thousands, we need to be faithful with the one. Amen? You see, when I got saved and my friends found out about that, say, you're like a priest. Not really. but you still act and look the same. Yeah. But you still, no, I don't need drugs. Or if I go to a party, everyone's like, do you want the beer? No, I don't drink. Are you okay? No, fine. Yeah, but how can you be happy without drinking? I don't know, it's just easy. See? So, what is the role that each one of us has been called to play? What's our role? What's our purpose? Some will say, well, you know, I'm quite talented, I love the way you play. Very good. I'm more a musician, I'm not really good with this talking and preaching. So we want to be musicians, and everybody wants to now play music. Or we see somebody praying, oh, hey, jeez, can that person pray? I want to learn to pray just like her. Or we'll go, can I do this? Or I want, but no, God wants you just as you are. With the same personality, same characteristics, because you will become a reflection of the kingdom of heaven. So Isaiah 61 says this, and this is for each one of us. If you can get it, Isaiah 61 is the next one there. And I want you to read it out loud. And I want you to say, as it does, the Spirit. Okay, so let's start. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberties to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of the vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to console all who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that He may be glorified. You see, that's your calling. That's for every one of you. Because the moment you got born again, the Spirit of the Holy God started to dwell within you. He gave you access to everything heaven has to offer. So that is your calling. That's the baggage. I mean, what beautiful baggage to carry. The presence of God. He says, take my yoke. Take my burden. Because it's light. You're like, walk with a suitcase, like, ooh, get in a scale, then don't have to worry. It's not going to go. And you're like, oh. Still, the Lord God is upon you because He has anointed you. You see, preaching is not about the person with the microphone. Preaching is not about how clever we are with scriptures. It's coming moments. This is preaching. How's it? My name's Russell. So what are you doing in Thailand?
Sports coach.
Wonderful. That's excellent. Yeah, he looked like a bit of a sporting guy. I'm also a sporting model. You can see this physique has taken years of training. This is a lean, mean, sporting machine. This one. You see, in that moment that I greeted him, that I smiled at him, that I gave him a hug, whatever's in me, on me, and through me got transferred to him. And he's going to walk away and go, wow. The other day we were sitting at Janus, and we were walking up, and Ronas turned around. There was a lady sitting there and asked her, "Can I hug you?" A Thai lady. She was overwhelmed because somebody stopped, recognized her, acknowledged her, and loved her. You want to preach the gospel? That's all you have to do. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." However, we need to not become so super spiritual. They go, oh, I can't go to the pub. What world with that? The devil. No. Jesus said, "I came for the sick." Okay, it's also not a license to go sit in the pub. What you doing? I'm evangelizing. See, it says, where sin abounds, grace abounds even more. But heaven forbid that we continue to sin. You see, when the woman walked away from him at the well, he didn't say, "Hey, you," he said, "Go in, please, go and sin no more." The desire to sin will be removed when our desire is to serve. Amen. Now, this is a whole other things that I said to you, but this is really what is coming down to. Are you living in this world, or are you just moving through to the end goal, the end destination, which is heaven? And the baggage that you carry, is it necessary to carry that stuff, or you want Jesus to take it away from you? And when you go on this journey, the only thing that you can take with you are those that you've ministered to. Those that you share the gospel of the good news, the gospel of life, are the only things that you will take, are those that you stop for a moment and share the goodness of God. And I want to ask you, what is your baggage? What is the thing that's holding you back? What is causing you to live with one foot in the world and one foot in heaven? You see, if you say, "Russell, there's things that God needs to sort out in my life," then it's time. You see, we will look around and say, "I'm so disappointed, so-and-so should have been here today." No, you should have been here today, and you are here today, so that you could hear that the Father saying to us today, so that tomorrow we don't need to walk the same way that we arrived at today. You see, God's not concerned about our past. He's not overly frightened or concerned about our present. God is all about our future. You see, Jesus came because to deliver us from our past so that we can go into a glorious future. It is time to live as though we're living in the future. It is time to live as though we're citizens of heaven and no longer citizens of this earth. Amen? Amen.